It was the day before Thanksgiving, and the skies over the Pacific Northwest were gray and restless. People rushed through the airports, thinking about family dinners, weather delays, and packed suitcases. But one man, dressed in a neat suit with a black tie and sunglasses, wasn't traveling home. He was about to vanish, without leaving behind a real name, a past, or a future anyone could trace. And what he left behind wasn't just a mystery, it was a legend. In this video, we will break down one of the greatest unsolved crimes in the American history. Who was D.B. Cooper? How did he hijack a plane, escape midair with $200,000, and disappear into thin air, never to be found again? So, take a seat, because here comes history. The flight, November 24th, 1971. A regular Wednesday, Northwest Orient Flight 305. A Boeing 727. Prepare for a short hop from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. Among the passengers, a man who buys one-way ticket under the name Dan Cooper. Middle-aged, well-dressed, carrying a black briefcase. He pays in cash, standard for the time. No ID required, no questions asked. The plane takes off at 2:50 p.m. The skies are heavy with clouds. The flight crew begins drink service. The man in the seat 18C orders a bourbon and soda. He smokes cigarettes. Reillys. The brand later identified from his ashes. Then, calmly, he hands flight attendant Florence Schaffner a note. She assumes it's his phone number and slips it in her pocket. He leans toward her and says, in a quite serious tone, "Miss, would we better look at that note? I have a bomb." Negotiations in the sky. The note is handwritten in clear block letters. He wants $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, a fuel truck ready in Seattle. When Schaffner asks to see the bomb, he opens the case briefly. Red cylinders, wires, and a battery. It looks convincing, but here's the strange part. He's calm, not agitated, not shouting. Cooper is almost courteous. He is described as soft-spoken, intelligent, and oddly polite, like a man handling business. He even tries to tip the flight attendants. He knows the plane's model and mechanics. He gives specific instructions. Stay below 10,000 feet, keep the landing gear down, flaps at 15 degrees, rear staircase must be lowered. Those aren't random demands. They suggest military knowledge, especially of parachuting, like a chess play thinking several moves ahead. He's setting the board for a mid-air escape. As the plane circles Seattle for nearly 2 hours, passengers are unaware of the hijack. They think it's just a routine delay. Meanwhile, authorities gather the ransom money, $10,000 in 20 bills, all recorded by serial number. At 5:39 p.m., the plane lands. Cooper allows the 36 passengers and 2 flight attendants to leave. He keeps 4 crew members on board. The money and the parachutes are delivered. The escape. Cooper now has what he wanted, but he's not done. He instructs the pilot to take off again. Destination: Mexico City. Route: southward with very specific flight conditions. He even refuses military-grade parachutes in favor of civilian ones, possibly to avoid being tracked or sabotaged. At 7:40 p.m., Flight 305 takes off once again. Now imagine this. You're flying low, at night, in rain and turbulence. Behind you is a man with a parachute and a bag full of money, standing at the back of the plane, staring into the dark unknown. At 8:13 p.m., something happens. The plane jolts slightly. A warning light on the cockpit dashboard flashes. The rear staircase has been lowered. And then, silence. When the plane lands safely in Reno, Nevada, the crew confirms what they suspect. D.B. Cooper is no longer aboard. This wasn't a movie. This wasn't a comic book. It was real. Now let me ask you, would you have had the nerve to jump into a freezing night, thousands of feet above the ground, with nothing but a parachute and a bag full of market bills? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did Cooper survive, or did he vanish into legend for good? The Manhunt. The FBI launches NORJAC, the Northwest Hijacking Investigation, one of the largest air and ground searches in American history. Helicopters scan the forests of southwestern Washington. Teams of agents sweep logging roads and riverbanks, but they find nothing. The only physical evidence Cooper left behind? A clip-on black tie with a pearl tie pin, 8 Raleigh cigarette butts, 2 parachutes he didn't use. Despite examining fingerprints, passengers lists, and flight manifests, they can't match anyone to D.B. Cooper. And remember, this was 1971. No airport security, no cameras, no ID checks. Cooper walked in and out like a ghost. For years, they chased every lead. Hundreds of suspects, veterans, convicts, airline workers. Some confess, most are quickly dismissed. One key moment happens in 1980. A boy named Brian Ingram is digging a fire pit with his family near the Columbia River. He unearths $5,800 in decomposed 20 bills, confirmed to match the ransom serial numbers. It's the only confirmed trace of the money, but it raises more questions than answers. Why was the money buried? Why only part of it? Was it lost in the jump, or planted there? Suspects and theories. Over the years, theories grew like smoke. Let's break down the most famous ones. Richard Floyd McCoy, a Vietnam vet and helicopter pilot who hijacked a plane in nearly identical way just 5 months later. He jumped with a parachute and cash, but was caught and killed trying to escape prison. Was he Cooper? Many thought so, but the FBI ruled him out, citing differences in age and appearance. Kenneth Christiansen, a former paratrooper and airline employee. Quiet, lived modestly, but left behind a surprising amount of money when he died. His brother swore he was Cooper. The physical resemblance is strong. The timing fits, but again, no concrete proof. Lynn Doyle Cooper, named in a deathbed confession by his niece. She claimed she remembered him planning something big around the time of the hijack. He was a war veteran, and he disappeared from her life soon after. Interesting, but still no physical evidence. And then there's the more abstract theory that Cooper didn't survive the jump at all, that he landed in a river and was swept away, or crashed into a tree. or got lost in the vast wilderness. But if that's true, why no body? Why no parachute? Why no trace? It's like chasing the shadow of a ghost that never leaves footprints. Legend takes flight. What makes this story so powerful? It's not just the crime, it's the vanishing act. D.B. Cooper became a symbol of mystery, rebellion, and cool-headed daring. The anti-hero who hurt no one, outsmarted the system, and walked, or jumped away. Songs were written, movies were made. He was referenced in Breaking Bad, Loki, and countless crime documentaries. He became the American version of a folk outlaw. Less Jesse James with a gun, more Houdini with a parachute. In 2016, the FBI officially closed the case. After 45 years, they admitted they had no idea who he was. That's not just a cold case, it's a closed curtain. But the story? Still alive. Every now and then, someone new claims to be Cooper. New suspects emerge. New books comes out. But no one has ever been arrested. And that clip-on tie? In 2011, microscopic particles on it hinted that Cooper may have worked in aerospace or engineering. Another clue. Another dead end. In a world obsessed with surveillance, fingerprints, DNA, and data, D.B. Cooper is the exception. He's the man who jumped out of the plane and into legend. The kind of story we still tell around fires, still debate in forums, still chasing the commentaries. Some mysteries beg to be solved, but others, they endure because we want them to. Because we need to believe that, just maybe, someone really did beat the system. If this story pulled you in, and you want more hidden chapters from history, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Got a strange event, secret project, or forgotten place you think we should cover next? Drop it in the comments. I'm always reading. Thanks for watching. And just as you took the seat, now you take this story with you. Bye.